So we kick off this week's all-new episode with girls softball after almost pulling off a playoff berth last season with an exciting late mid-season run. This young team this year would look to start off a brand new season with a win. After a couple weather postponements, Raiders' season opener would finally be here at Lee Field, as the Raiders would face a familiar division rival in the Walpole Rebels on Monday. Bottom first with one out, Jessica Haar lines a single to left to get things started for Wellesley. After starting pitcher Julia Pearl moves the runner to second, it's now 2 outs. But Olivia Hunter steps up to the plate, says no worries, and drives a 1-0 pitch deep to left. And that one ain't coming back, as Olivia Hunter goes yard, and the Raiders are up 2-0 with just one loud swing of the bat. And that pumps up these Raiders for sure as they take an early lead. The very next inning, though, top of the second, Rebels' Catherine King takes Julia Pearl's 2-0 pitch and laces it deep center. And as the ball finds its way to the fence, King finds herself sliding into third base for a triple. But as the throw glances off Catherine King, King can easily cross home plate. It's now a 2-1 Wellesley edge. Fast forward to the fifth, where Walpole adds on 3 more runs before a great play here by catcher Linny Young ends the rally, as Young grabs the pitch in the dirt and throws it perfectly to Taylor McLennan to tag out Catherine King. Rebels come out with a 4-2 lead. And so the Raiders' bottom fifth, looking to cut that deficit, have runners on second and third. But with 2 out, it's pitcher versus pitcher, as Melissa Cochran gets Julia Pearl to ground out and end the inning. Walpole takes that momentum and runs with it here in the 6th, as Christina Boyajian lays down a perfect bunt to lead off the inning. Now with nobody out still, it's a 5-2 Walpole edge, and Michaela Federico makes it 7-2 as she ropes a 2-run double to left. Very next pitch, Tess Lawler switches places at second with Federico with another RBI double. Julia Pearl would then strike out Mandy Scully to put a stop to this Rebels rally, but it's now a 9-2 deficit Wellesley is faced with. So as we go to the bottom of this 6th, Raiders looking for an answer. And with a runner on second, Sarah Farnsworth grounder gets past the infield, and now it's runners on the corners. Ellie Kinney then takes the first pitch she sees, and it's an RBI single for Kinney. It's 3rd run of the game for Wellesley. Michaela Federico doubles up Wellesley, though, on this catch, and that unfortunately brings an end to any more scoring chances for Wellesley. And the 7th and final inning comes and goes, and Walpole comes away with a 9-3 victory over Wellesley. The season has just started, though, and the Raiders will look to rebound quickly after this loss, and hopefully see more home runs to come. The final here for now at Lee Field, Rebels 9, Raiders 3. Well, coming off a tough overtime road loss to their bitter rivals Needham, boys lacrosse would look to quickly rebound at home as they faced yet another division rival, the Walpole Rebels. These two teams always match up really well together, so you know this one here on Tuesday at Sprague is going to be a battle on the turf. Opening quarter, Raiders are in control early, with most of this first dominated in the Raiders' own offensive end. Taking it to the net, Wellesley quickly jumps on that, and get back-to-back scores by TJ Maley and Brennan Conroy for an early 2-0 edge. Michael Bohms would then find separation away from Chris O'Connell and rip it into the cage for the 4th unanswered Raiders score. Wellesley leads 4-0 after 1. Here in the 2nd, though, Jackson Kelly in net is able to contain the Raiders with some great saves here. And the momentum slowly starts to go Rebels' way halfway through this quarter. Key goal here by Connor Tracy would help spark 2 more Rebel scores. And with only 26 seconds left until halftime, it's a 4-3 Wellesley edge. But with only seconds to spare, Michael Bohms makes the move towards net, feeds it to Scott Westerman, and Westerman goes high-low and finds net. And so after 2 played here, we go into the half, Raiders up 5-3. Fast forward to the 4th, and we've got a ball game here as it's Wellesley holding on to only a 1-point advantage at 6-5. But less than 2 minutes in, Griffin Morgan changes that as Morgan's laser shot finds corner net, and with this 7-5 Wellesley lead, the Raiders look to put the Rebels away, now up by 2. But unfortunately, Walpole has other ideas. With 2:36 to go in regulation, Jake Hurley, well on the ground, somehow nets a key score that cuts the Rebels' deficit to only 7-6. As Walpole comes out of their timeout and execute the play perfectly, as Connor Tracy dekes and buries the equalizer with only 3 seconds left to the 4th. That's a tough one to take, as we are now headed to overtime. First overtime, Raiders get their opportunities with 4 extra minutes on the clock. But those chances tick away, and we're still locked in at 7-7. Now, it's double overtime. Sudden death, first one who scores wins this hard-fought battle. After Teddy Darcy makes a great save on this shot, 16 seconds pass before Ben Lucas forces another turnover near midfield and just buries the game-winning goal. That's a heartbreaker for sure for this Raider team. But though this 8-7 loss to Walpole in double overtime at home is tough to take, it doesn't and shouldn't take away this team's confidence. It's only April. The season has just begun. Time to focus onto the next game. That next one will be another Bay State Conference battle at home as Weymouth comes to Sprague on Thursday. For now, it's Walpole 8, Wellesley 7. Well, after baseball would have to postpone 3 games already due to weather, here on Wednesday the sun would finally be shining. And it's a great day for some Bay State Conference baseball as the Raiders play host to the Weymouth Wildcats. There would be a new lefty on the mound for Wellesley with Jack Dolan graduated, and it would be Henry Weicker looking to fill those shoes. Top of the first, Weicker runs into some trouble as Wildcats jump out on top first when Kevin O'Brien's grounder ricochets off the second base bag and into center field to score the runner from second. With 2 out and the base is juiced, Jonathan Tinker's grounder goes to Isaac Weicker, but the throw is low, and that error allows 2 more Wildcats to cross the plate. So Weymouth comes out of their half of the inning with a 3-0 lead. Bottom first, though, no panic on the Raiders' side, as it's 2 on, nobody out, and Brad Marchetti ropes a laser shot to right field and slides in for a clutch 2-run triple. And it's a Wellesley 3-2 deficit. That quickly changes, though, as Jack Tishman's bloop RBI single to center would then score Marchetti. And Wellesley has already gotten to starting pitcher Brian Umano, as we've got a tied ball game here in this bottom first. Still, nobody out. Wellesley then takes the lead off Jack Wazell's sac bunt, as the throw cannot be held onto by Jonathan Tinker. And the throw to home plate is not in time, as Jack Tishman slides in safely for the go-ahead run. And after the 5th run of the inning comes across, Raiders have run out starting pitcher Brian Umano, as we still do not have an out. Henry Weicker then helps out his own cause and rips a sac fly. And after 1 played, it's Wellesley now who leads 6-3. Henry Weicker would then silence the Weymouth Bats the next few innings, while Max Guifrey leads off the bottom third with a deep shot to left center that keeps going and going. Max Guifrey clears the fences for a resounding solo shot that adds another run to this Raider lead and gets the whole team fired up. Raiders take that 8-3 lead in the 6th. After Isaac Weicker scores on a wild pitch as Weymouth tries to intentionally walk Brad Marchetti in the 4th, where Wildcats take advantage of some Wellesley's wild pitches of their own as Jason Mayona struggles in relief. But no worries though, as Raiders get out of that jam, still in control, and hold a 8-5 edge. Nolan Moon then gets the save here in the 7th as Wildcats leave a man stranded. And Wellesley, after quickly facing a 3-run deficit, showed a lot of determination and quickly took over this game, taking back the lead and not looking back. Henry Weicker looked solid in 5 innings, and the Raiders' bats did the rest. Wellesley will quickly have another Bay State Conference match versus Dedham here on Friday. But for now, this win felt good for this young team. Final here, Raiders 8, Wildcats 5. Well, that does it for yet another episode of Raiders Sports Blog. Thanks for watching. Plenty of Raiders action is coming your way, so stay here with Wellesley Media as we keep you covered with all Raiders sports. As always, check us out on demand at wellesleymedia.org, our YouTube and Facebook pages at Wellesley Public Media, right here on Comcast 9 and Verizon 39.